Chapter 7, Front Derailleur Angle.
And now we're going to look at the proper setting of the angle.
We will discuss the best gears to be in to observe the angle, how to determine if the angle is correct, how to adjust the angle, and the benefit of getting it exactly right.
The second adjustment has to do with the angle of the front derailleur, and here you can see I've put a chain on because I can only adjust the angle with the chain. And this part here of the outer plate of the front derailleur, I'm going to call the tip of it. Sometimes that's bent in just a little bit to help the derailleur perform better. But other than the tip, the distance from right about here to about here, the 1 inch or about 1.5 inches of the outer plate of the derailleur are supposed to be parallel to the chain, not the chain ring, but parallel to the chain when I'm in the big ring combination. So I can easily observe this by looking down from above and see if I have that parallel condition.
There's the tip of the derailleur, and if we look at this picture on the left of a typical front derailleur, you see that the tip is often just bent in slightly. Looking behind the tip and this approximately 1 inch of the outer plate, and we're looking at the space in here between the outer plate and the chain, if that line represents the chain, then that line represents the outer plate, and you can see that it angles in slightly toward the back. I want to rotate my derailleur slightly so that those lines become parallel. Using some Sharpies, I can make some reference marks on my bike. This line here is the height of the derailleur. Since I have that already set correctly, I certainly don't want to lose that. And here is a vertical line on the C-tube and a corresponding vertical line on the derailleur clamp. This bolt over here, if I loosen this bolt, then I can rotate the whole derailleur. And when I do, if I look closely, I can see that I have a more parallel condition than I had a minute ago. The amount that I've rotated the derailleur is probably only about 1 degree, but sometimes a very small rotation will make a difference. Here's my before and after picture. These are my reference marks before I rotated the derailleur, and here you can see a very slight rotation that I made. By the way, on the same slide, if I look carefully, I can see the amount that my derailleur has been lowered as well.
Okay, now that I've got this height and angle adjusted correctly, I'm just going to tighten this little bolt in the back to make sure that the derailleur will stay in this position. So I now have 2 of my adjustments completed. I have the right height and I also have the right angle. This angle adjustment is very sensitive. Even a movement of 1 degree one way or the other can sometimes make a noticeable difference in your shifting.